Put your paws up, because you were born this way, baby.
Good afternoon, Loring Park. You are listening to Twin Cities Pride Amplified right here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and right here live in Loring Park at our amazing Loring stage. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Andi, and I am also the executive director of Twin Cities Pride in this absolutely amazing festival here in June. We are so happy you all are here with us today. Thank you for joining us. We are going to have an awesome show. We are live on AM 950. If you don't want to stand here and look at us, you can listen to us on the radio. For those of you in the crowd that maybe don't know, this past January, Twin Cities Pride started a radio show and podcast with AM 950 to make sure that we are talking about all the things LGBTQ here in the Twin Cities and in Minnesota. We want to make sure that we keep you all in the know. We talk about important topics that are happening in our community and getting the word out there about all the things that are going on. And part of that is our show. And we're going to introduce some absolutely amazing humans sitting next to me. There is an awesome block of radio shows on AM 950 that features all of the LGBTQ community partners. And so it's super fun and amazing. But before I get started, I can never start this show without saying good afternoon to my absolutely amazing assistant and wrangler in life and keeping me on track. And the only reason I am sitting here right now on time, Rina Heisel.
Thank you, Andi. Hello, everybody. And hello to all of our listeners who are listening to us right now on AM 950. We are coming to you live from Loring Park, as Andi mentioned, and rest assured, the TC Pride team has done another phenomenal job of basically constructing an entire city here in Loring Park. From the gardens, we've got craft vendors, we have got Minnesota sports teams, interactive exhibits, you name it, and it is here. The outfits are amazing, the makeup is amazing, the company is amazing. We are so excited to be here on the Loring stage today.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the amazing crowd out here got introduced to some amazing counterparts on AM 950 here. And so we're going to talk a little bit about your all shows. Yes. I know. So the queer radio is on AM 950 every Saturday from 2 to 6. So make sure you're tuning into AM 950. And you can also find all of our shows on podcast form. Usually the next Monday. So yeah, that's always out there.
Yes. And so again, it is Saturday afternoons. There's a few hours of programming and the variety of topics that are covered. It's everything from entertainment, a little bit of politics, a little bit of current events. With our program, we like to talk a lot about what's going on at TC Pride, our different programming. We like to feature all the other nonprofits around the area that are doing really good work. So on Saturday, tune in and learn a little bit about what's going on in the community.
Yeah, which brings us to our extra special guests today. We have two of our fellow AM 950 program hosts. We have Philip from the Downright Upright Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Woo!
And
love you guys.
And we have JP from you do two shows, man.
I do.
Like what? Overachiever. What is that? Like you can't show us up.
I'm the
is
I'm the textbove dictionary of overachiever.
Overachiever.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Let's go.
Right.
Why do something at a 10 when you can do it at 100?
Hey, have you seen this, Spark? Trust me, I get that. All right. So you do this queer book, Save My Life,
Yep.
and the Gaily Show.
I do.
Yeah. I mean, like, that just says it all right there.
Yes.
But thank you so much for being here. We talked a little bit about Twin Cities Pride. You want to tell us a little bit about your shows and what you kind of talk about?
Sure. I'll start. So this queer book, Save My Life, is a show where we talk about book bans, right? But we want to get beyond the numbers of the book bans and talk about what are the life-saving aspects of books, right? Of queer books for individuals. And so we ask guests to come on the show And if you want to be on the show, you can go to thisquarebook.com and you fill out the little form on the homepage, and we will get in touch with you. And we want to hear about how did this book help you come out? How did this book help you deal with a past abusive relationship? Like, how did this book help you begin your gender affirmation process? And then as we're talking to the guests, we like to bring the authors of the books on as well, to have then a conversation with them about what did it take to write this book and get it out into the world. Was it super easy? Was it difficult? What were people telling you should keep in the book or not keep in the book? And then it's always just really magical to watch the guest and the author have a conversation amongst themselves, right? Because here's this person who's read this amazing book, and they're, sometimes they're starstruck and they don't know what to say, and sometimes they've got like a million questions, right, for the author. And so that's This Queer Book Saved My Life. And then on the Gaily Show, it's all about LGBTQ culture and entertainment, both in Minnesota and beyond. So we talk to a lot of like local musicians and theater makers. And I was just talking to Mia Lucky, who's the showrunner and creator of Transplant, a new web series. On the show before, we had Jeff Gavin, whose new album Magic just dropped, and he's going to be on the Power to the People stage at 4:45 p.m. If you've never seen Jeff perform before, you will understand why he's called Magic after watching his show at 4:45.
Well, that sounds intriguing.
Yes.
The album is amazing. On my Spotify list, just kind of on repeat.
There you go.
Really magical. So that's what we do on the Gaily Show. Both of these shows air in the 2 p.m. hour on Saturdays on AM 950 radio.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Amazing. So bring us to that show.
Yeah, I need the story of the name as well, if you don't mind, Phil.
Yeah, it's called the Downright Upright Show.
Yeah.
And they asked me, what do you want to call your show, Philip, when you start? And I thought maybe a red arrow going down and a blue arrow going up, and you guys could all figure it out for yourself. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
So we have some downright stuff, which is downers.
Yeah.
And then obviously we uplift as much as we can. The
Love
LGBT
that.
community is on fire now.
Yeah.
We are not going to go backwards.
No.
Right.
And that's what my show's about. Uplifting. And we have guests on. I interview people. By the way,
Yes.
I just found out, you guys, all of you, that did any of you out there heard of the Village People?
Maybe.
Say yes or no.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Well,
hope so.
Who doesn't know who the Village People are?
well, being an old gay man, they were the first group that actually talked about our issues.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the songs were about, being gay, being proud, I am what I am, and then what I am, I'll be, songs like that.
Yeah.
Well, Felipe Rose, who played the Indian on the Village People, is going to be a guest on my show.
Ooh, look at you, big
OMG,
timer.
guys. So that's going to be the upright.
That's going to be the upright. We hope so.
And other things are upright, but it was just that. But I just love doing the show. I have a message to tell. I have a voice. I want to give you guys a voice. If you have any subject matter that you want me to address on the show, Downright Upright Show at gmail.com.
All right. So I'm curious what inspired both of you to start these programs. I mean, they're very unique. AM 950 radio podcast is such a great platform to have these kind of discussions. So maybe we will start with you, JP. How were you inspired to start the program, This Queer Book?
Well, I was watching the book bans happening, and I was kind of taking it personally because books have played such an important, integral part of my own life. Growing up as a queer Armenian American, there was just a lot of isolation happening on a lot of different fronts. And it was books that finally kind of gave me that cognitive, psychic, emotional space alone in my room to begin to understand, like, who am I? You know what I mean? And all of these feelings that I'm feeling are normal and they're valid. And so when I saw these book bans happening, I thought, okay, we need to be talking, yes, we need to be talking about how those people are wrong, but I also want to be talking about the books. I want to talk to this person about also, like, what's giving you life right now? What is life saving? Because someone can listen to the show and they may be going through some stuff and they may listen to this episode and go, oh, I need that book. I need In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. And I didn't know about that book. And now because I've heard, this queer person talk about its life-saving impact, and I've heard the author, I'm going to go get that book, and that's going to help me, right, in some way. And so all of those things were kind of what was coming together for me of why I wanted to create this show. And a lot of times it's just really... there's been some therapeutic moments even for me. I'm listening to the guests talk about some stuff, whether it's, faith-based or dealing with family. And I'm asking them questions, but then they get going and they start talking to the author, and I'm just like taking notes, like, yeah, this is all applicable to my life, right now. And so I find it just even kind of helping me grow as a queer person and how I'm living and loving right in the world as well. So, that's a little bit about where the show came from.
Okay.
We've had Sailor Stout on our show, and we always tease him that you haven't written a good book until it's banned, because then it's true.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gotta love those banned books. How dare they tell you the truth?
Yeah.
So Philip, how long have you been producing radio programs? How did you decide you wanted to get this show going and get your voice out there?
It's a great question. So I used to go, AM 950 used to have something called the Blue State Ball. I don't know if any of you out there ever attended it. It's a gathering of like-minded liberals. The L word.
Oh,
liberal.
You said the L
Any
word.
liberals out there? Liberals?
The L word.
Any liberals? Be proud about that too, Anyway, so I went to the Blue State Ball, and I met the owner, and I met Mr. Brett, who is the producer of AM 9, does a lot of AM 950 production.
All of us, yeah.
All of our shows, yeah.
Keeps us all in line.
Yes.
And I said, I have something to say. And I remember during COVID that, am I going to spend the rest of my life, when I'm retired, baking cookies and cake, just doing nothing? I said, no, I'm going to do something with this brain of mine. And I kind of sold the show to the owner and to Brett. And the next thing you know, I got the podcast. And this January, it premiered along with your show.
Yeah.
So our shows are kind of virgins.
They are. That's been a long time since I've been called that, but okay.
Touch for the very first time, Yeah, absolutely.
My spouse is around here somewhere.
No, and that's how it happened. And I get politicians on my show. I get authors, entertainers, all people that are movers and shakers in our society in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And and I try to, again, uplift. It's all about uplift. Your show uplifts, Andy, you guys are really great. And JP, I was a guest on JP's show.
You made it to the big time.
I did. Oh my God. JP asked me to be on the show. He asked me, do I have a queer book that saved my life? And I said, well, I'm an old, geezer.
You're not
from
old.
Well, I'm, up there. Anyway, and I did, there was a book back in the 1980, I want to say, called The Homosexualization of America. It was written by Dennis Altman, who was a big LGBT author back in the day before we even had a voice, And he wrote a book that we in the community have a culture. We have our own music, our own food. I remember him talking about quiche. Remember that part of it? That quiche used to be a gay food. Believe it or not, we had our own food.
Eggs were our own food because quiche is just eggs
that.
in a pie shell.
Do you like quiche, you guys? Anyway,
I do like quiche, especially with some bacon and some cheese.
Oh my God!
I mean,
broccoli and spinach, wonderful. Anyway, so and I was on the show and we got to meet Dennis, and JP could tell you more about Dennis because that's his, bailiwick. So pick it up there, JP, about Dennis.
So Dennis Altman is actually from Australia, and is an academic who turned the United States into his research area. And so that's why it kind of sounds like the homosexualization. That's a very academic title. But the dude was friends with James Baldwin, you know, and you can find video of him in the 1970s. It's black and white video. He's on was ABC, but it's Australian Broadcast Corporation, right? So their version of that. And he's on this major news program, and they've got a member of parliament and a Catholic priest like debating him over his book, and he's like 23 years old. You know what I mean? And just holding his own. And it's just amazing to watch this person who had been doing the research and the activism in this work and being, BFFs with James Baldwin. And so at some point I was just kind of like, who is this person?
He got him to be on the show. It's
by
amazing.
the way. He was a name dropper. But he was our first author from Australia. So now, navigate when you get a guest from Australia, that's going to be fun.
Right.
Navigating those time zones.
Gotta
like
love
it's
that.
the next day, and
We
here
haven't
it's
had
the
any
day
guests on
before.
from Australia.
We have not had any guests on from Australia. We need to work on that.
All
Yeah,
right.
soon.
Right?
Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Yes.
Sydney Pride and Twin Cities Pride can have a conversation.
I know the
See?
organizers of Sydney
Oh,
Pride.
see? There,
They just
it's-
held World Pride.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Well,
fantastic down
We
there.
just need to put a proposal together for Chad to send all of us on remote to Sydney,
To Australia.
Ooh.
That's
Why
Chad. You're
not?
not listening, are you?
Andy,
just-
is this Pride? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You don't mind? Because I'm used to interviewing, so I can.
Sure. We all are, so this will be
That's
real
what this is all
interesting.
about. Yeah.
No. Do you know if Twin Cities Pride is the largest pride in the Midwest, or is it not?
So I can
'Cause I
tell
don't
you
know.
some. Yeah. So let me tell you some fun facts about that. So we are the largest free pride in the world.
Wow.
In the world.
So
Wow.
Wait, in
you
the
all
world?
are part of the largest free pride in the world. And
Whoa! Oh my goodness gracious! I didn't even know that.
yes,
Okay.
and we are the third largest in the U.S., just right behind little old New York and San Francisco.
Oh my
What?
goodness!
Because
That is
people in
crazy.
Minnesota are the best.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah.
just face it, right?
Yes.
We're the best out here. So
Wow.
we hold our own. We gather every year at a thing called Inner Pride, and Inner Pride is a organization that pulls all the prides together, so we can talk about a lot of different things that are happening, whether or not it's here in the United States or in Australia or Pakistan or any of those. And so we talk about, as organizers, what the movement is, what we need to focus on, and all that stuff. And so it's really fun to be able to sit and we, talk about our attendance, and we talk about the things that we do. And even today, and they're around here somewhere, we've got folks from Miami Beach Pride. We've got folks from Fort Lauderdale Pride here.
All
We have
right.
folks from San Diego, and they all come here to see what the fuss is all about.
Yeah, and
And
Florida.
it's all about fun.
To
Yeah,
see
but
how it's
Andy,
done.
Florida's having a lot of problems when it comes to our community. I know
yeah.
from drag queens that I know that perform down there, and it's not a happy situation.
And it's not. And I think that's an important topic that, we kind of have to talk about, because as Minnesota has become a trans refuge state, and we are seeing just fleas of folks coming into.
Mhm.
Is there anybody in the audience that is not from Minnesota?
Wow,
see,
same
look,
hands.
see, look at them
Lots of
all.
hands.
You see
exactly.
over there?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, like, because people are coming here, it's safe here, and you're accepted here. And last night we held a youth night in the park, and it's the first time we've ever done that. And I got to tell you, there's like 1,000 kids in here.
Oh wow.
And
Oh
the
boy.
crazy thing about last night was that the kids were having a blast. They're not oblivious to everything, but they're in it and they're having fun. But the emotion of the parents, because crazy enough, had this just happened for them when they were younger, it would have saved so many lives,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and so Minnesota is just this absolutely amazing space. I mean, you look around here and nobody cares who you are, or what you did an hour ago, or who you did an hour ago. But we're just here to have some fun. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I can say that, right? We're a proud,
And
I'm
a
he-
state that
yeah.
just banned book banning.
right?
So yeah, like
You don't get
Illinois
to-
was the first one. I don't know if we're like the second or the third state to do that. I don't know where we rank in on those numbers, but like to pass a law saying no, you can't ban books anymore. It's like we're the antithesis to Florida.
Like,
Right.
where did that even become a thing? Like, hey, let's
Florida.
ban books. Like, how lame do you have to be?
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
I
we should
remember-
read
yeah.
some more banned
Maybe-
books.
maybe we should
everyone.
read-
Yeah.
read
Let's
some more.
read some.
It's
Yeah,
like
funny
you
how that
don't
works.
remember how you were yourself as a teenager. If somebody said that book over there is one you should not look at.
Oh,
what's
you're gonna
the
read
one
it?
book that you're gonna die to get the chance to get your hands on.
Yeah.
That's the logic that blows me away.
I guess they want us to go back to the days of reading The Joy of Cooking or something like,
Actually,
Hey, do not rag on Julia Child.
Oh, I love her.
That
Yeah.
we have to be
That is my book.
we have to be kind of
Well, I
kind
like to
because
cook myself. Yeah.
Rena over here is an author, so we get her started on books, and the next thing we know, we've got Rena just fully invested in books over here.
Mine is a middle grade story about 3 mice that go on an adventure in the woods. It's not on any warning lists or anything like that.
We're gonna
That
change
you know
that
of.
though. The next ones are gonna be 3 gay mice,
Oh, love
kind of like the 3 blind mice.
Yeah.
Free gay
Yeah.
mice. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how they run? No.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is what
I mean,
happens when you put 4 of us on a stage.
It's so we just did an episode with the two of the leading researchers on book bans from Penn America, and something that I always like telling people 2 things that I like telling people after having that conversation with them. One, it's such a small group of people that are banning books right now. Like there were 400 books banned in a community in a school district in Wisconsin because of one person.
Right.
That's insane.
One person. They've got this like
squeaky wheel.
crazy Facebook group where someone's doing the research and then they just all go in there and they copy and paste the language, right?
Yeah.
But what I took away from that was if one person can do that, imagine what another one person could do in that school district to promote LGBTQ books and to say, you got to get these books into our libraries, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that I just, I like to share with folks is that it is, we are at a point in the country where it is the largest number of book bans, but it's from this ridiculously small number of people that are doing it.
Most negative voices, and we had just like a little microcosm of that at our office. We've been getting some very interesting unkind postcards recently, and
We've been getting hate mail from California.
from
California.
California, by
Oh
the
yeah, they
way.
can't even sign their own name, so whatever.
But
Oh my goodness.
our postal carriers in the area hate delivering these to us, even though we've told them just bring it on. We're used to it. Whatever. We need to have
frame
them.
it.
So guess what they did? They went together and pitched in, and we got around 50 postcards from the postal carriers that were all sweet, wonderful messages encouraging us. We love having you here. You guys are doing great work. Twin Cities Pride saves lives. Like all these amazing messages because they were so mad about having to give us those mean postcards.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dominic, our postal carrier.
So it is though. It's
fantastic human.
Those angry voices just seem to carry, but there's so many more positive voices out there.
But
Absolutely.
I think there's a good reminder there that while, a couple voices can ban books, a couple voices can change the world.
Yeah.
And that I think is a really good thing. So for those youth that are out here listening, your voice matters.
Yeah.
Your voice matters. Your vote matters. You matter.
Yes.
And, when you start pushing it and having that conversation and believing in what you believe in, then there's no stopping you.
Yeah.
So don't be
And
quiet.
and running for school board.
Oh,
Because that's how you
Yeah.
can stop the book banning if you do that. Or if you
100%.
vote for the right people, make sure you vote, everyone. Voting
Yes.
is essential, especially this coming election. So, I want to say one thing.
Yep,
Because,
go ahead.
Go for it.
The elephants in the room right now, I think everybody knows. They watched the debate,
oh,
and I know what you're thinking. Absolutely. Okay. But a nice, kind old man versus like this tyrant who wants to be a dictator on day one. That's your choices, ladies and gentlemen. That's who you got to vote for.
yeah.
So don't let anybody tell you that, he's too old. Well, the other one isn't quite, what is he, 2 years younger or
There are
something?
no
Something like
spring
that.
chickens up there.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are no spring chicken.
Yeah, no Cornish hens. Yeah.
But
Corny
if you're not,
hens,
if
but-
you're not registered to vote, you can do that here.
Yeah.
There are 4
yes.
organizations that are registering people to vote: HRC, Fair Vote Minnesota,
Gender Justice,
and there's
Out Front?
Out front.
Front Minnesota.
At the-
Yes.
Get
Out
registered
Front,
to vote.
Minnesota. So because this is incredibly important to me, and I just need to say it because I have all of you. So if you can grab a really quick attention, we are missing a child. Kirsten's a 10-year-old. She's wearing a little black sparkly dress, black leggings, red and brown curly hair, was last seen in the yellow section. So if you see little girl wandering around who does not look like she's parents, please make sure you speak up. Again, her name is Kirsten. She's 10 years old, wearing a black sparkly dress, black leggings, red, brown, curly hair, last seen in the yellow section. Let's make sure she gets back to her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a parent. And so when kids
Yeah, I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
I know. So please be on the lookout for Kirsten. And Kirsten, if you can hear me, honey, please make sure you find your way to someone and we'll get you back to your parents, okay? Okay, on that note. Sorry. That is my
Don't
that
apologize.
Is, I know. Like, that's what happens when you run a festival this big.
That's what happens when you have a live
Yeah.
show.
A live show. This is what happens, people.
Yep.
Yes. So we want to make sure we get her back to who she is. But again, it goes back to those young people. Like,
Yeah.
you know, at some point we all are going to end our legacy and actually retire and bake cookies and cupcakes and all that stuff. And we need those crew to step up and take over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
been one common theme on our program as we've been talking to different nonprofits and different people active in the community and the volunteers that here at Twin Cities Pride at the festival is the young people are just phenomenal.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
they
You know-
just have an energy that is so needed right now. I don't know if I've got like the Gen X burnout or what, but it's like I love that enthusiasm. Those people don't look at me like that.
Because
when I
we're
say
tired.
Well, yeah,
tired.
Gen
Andy,
X burnout. I love that.
you know,
That's- yeah.
everybody
that on
out
a
there
t-shirt.
thanks you for all the work you've done for Twin Cities Pride. I mean, let's give Andy a hand for that. I mean, that's amazing. Andy,
Honestly,
awesome.
it's really my team. So most people don't know this either about Twin Cities Pride. So there is only 7 of us that are employed by Twin Cities Pride. 7. There's about 30 volunteers who do year-round work in their spare time. And I say that loosely because who's really got spare time?
Right.
And then it takes about 300 volunteers to make this festival happen. And it you know, we take about a week to get it up. And that's why, you know, there are hiccups and things like that. Like sometimes we're running a little behind on turning on a generator and, you know, things like that. But like all of this work is truly a testament to my team and the volunteers behind it. I just come in with the ideas and they hold me down by my ankles and go, no, Andy, you can't have a Ferris wheel in the middle of the park, but I can have a bull ride. So if you have not gone and ride the bull over by the Vikings,
Well, that's you
please
talk
do
about
so.
how Twin Cities Pride, this festival can be free. The reason it can be free is because so many community members in the Twin Cities pitch in and
Yeah.
volunteer when we need them to, because the resources that we have at this festival is one of the reasons we want it to stay free.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you have 7 paid staff.
Yep.
How does that relate? So, and we're the 3rd largest pride
Mhm.
in the country. How does that then relate to like LA and New York?
They have
Like,
a much
are there-
bigger staff. So I'll give you this.
Much
So
bigger staff.
San Diego, we love San Diego. They're fantastic. They run with a staff of 25. And they are like, I
How
don't know.
big is
We
their
see
pride?
between the 2 days, we see about 500,000 people in and out of our events. And they see about 200,000. And they have a 25-person staff. Cuts them
Oh,
out
my
every
goodness.
year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And now
no.
who's the overachiever now?
Well, you know,
Exactly.
I won't tell you that I went home at 1:00 in the morning last night.
Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah,
since
but
Andy
it's worth
came
it.
on as executive director in 2023, one of Andy's big goals was to expand to the year-round programming.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we always encourage our listeners to do is to check our website, tcpride.org, to look at events, because now we're trying to have something every month so people have more to look forward to. Because that was one big thing is after the festival's over and Pride Month is over, it's like, well, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
now, since Andy's come aboard, especially, we're trying to have those things. We had Queer Rights Book Festival, is I think where we actually
Oh,
met
I
you for the
love
first time.
Queer Rights
that
Book
was like Scholastic
Festival.
Book Fair, but for grown-ups.
That was amazing.
We had Friendsgiving, which was a holiday meal
Yeah.
for found family to meet people. Fall Fest at Urban Growler in St. Paul. We're really trying to have more stuff year round, and so
your
far
show.
it's been working. But yeah, we really need those volunteers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. But I think, you know, it brings us back to kind of your all shows is like the community. We're not just here in June.
Mhm.
right? Like this isn't just, oh, we're
Mhm.
queer in June, yay. Like we're queer all year long, people.
Yeah.
Like we're here all year
Oh,
long,
yeah.
and we need those resources, and we need to fill our cup sometimes
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it drains really quick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whether it's reading a book and you're like, you know what, I feel empowered to do those, or we got to talk
Yeah.
about, sometimes the negative things but yet the positive things that uplift us and that we win. So right now there is a person out there with a trans flag waving it. I see you, and I'm so proud of
Yay!
you. I am so proud of you for being proud of
I
who
am
you
proud
are.
of you too.
Like,
Andy,
yes.
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
When I came out back in 19 blah blah
Blah,
blah
blah, blah.
blah blah, it was the gay people that
Mhm.
people were pushing back on, and calling us all these names: deviant, you're a sinner, you're going to hell, and all this. Okay, fast forward to today.
Mhm.
The trans community is going through exactly what we went through, and that's why it was called empathy. That's why allies, gay people, lesbians, everybody else should be, because you guys were there. Trans people were there during Stonewall.
Mhm.
They were the ones, throwing the
Leading.
bricks.
Yep.
So I want to tell you that we love you out there.
Yes.
Let's all give everyone a hand
Yes. Yeah.
for waving that flag. It's beautiful.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is beautiful, and
Beautiful.
I'm so proud of you. We did a show on Twin Cities Pride Amplified talking about the topic LGBT without the T and Q.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
wait, what?
there's a movement right now. It's a hashtag, and for those of you in your mental health, don't look it up because it's depressing.
I know what it is, but I'm not saying.
Yeah. And it's, the L, the G, the B are trying to disassociate from the T and the Q. And it's like, well, wait a second. Like, come on.
No.
Come on.
Nope.
I mean, yeah. So it's out there. And inner community hate. Like, I'm going to say this, and we're at Pride, and we're all loving, and we're all here, and we're having a great time. But unfortunately, there's hate within our community.
Mhm.
And nobody wants
Oh, yeah.
to talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it because it happens, and
Yes,
there
it
is
does.
hate within our community, and it's not okay.
I know one. I know a gay man who is voting the other way. I'm trying to figure it out. It's all about. I think it has a lot to do with taxes more than anything else.
Mhm.
They don't care about the community, about marginalized people. It's all about what you can put in my pocket.
Mhm.
I mean, that is important, but at the same time, so is civil rights. So
Yeah.
people's rights. So people vote. Please, please, please vote.
Yeah, and I make this statement a lot, and I try to use it because it's the boldest example that I can use. Is that slavery didn't end because Black people said we've had enough. Slavery ended because allies said we've had enough, and
Thank
they
you.
don't deserve this.
That's
And so,
amazing.
at the end of the day, our allies, and whether that is allies that are, allies to the LGBTQ community, or they are part of the other letters protecting the T and the Q, like those are the people that make the change happen, because we're such a small group of folks that are just trying to live our most authentic life all
Yeah.
year round,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just, man, it gets me riled.
Well,
up.
that's why we have to thank AM 950. I mean,
Yeah.
100%.
how many radio stations? If you can name me one, I'll give you, something.
I got a bottle of water.
That have
Give me this mug.
4
Yeah.
hours of LGBT hosted shows.
Yeah.
Right, JP? I mean, there is no such animal.
Literally letting us talk about the things that are relevant.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, shout out to Chad. I don't know if Chad's out there somewhere, but
Well, he's at the booth.
he's at the
He's
booth.
trying
We
to
put him
figure
to
out how
work.
to fund our trip to
I
Australia.
remember.
Oh,
I
yes,
remember
he's trying to-
these.
Is
I
he
remember
there?
these early conversations. Our executive producer of This Queer Book Saved My Life and the Gaily Show, Jim Pounds, over
Hey,
there.
Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jim
Jim.
and Chad having these conversations early on about like how can we start to add more things, and and Chad was very receptive to that and ran with it. And Chad and Laura and Jennifer in sales and marketing and Brett and Philip, like just, I mean, they didn't even blink.
No.
You
No.
know, they just like ran with it, and suddenly now here we are, and we're broadcasting live.
Yeah.
Right.
From
And we
from
would be-
Pride,
And we would be super happy for another 4 hours of shows. Hey,
Yeah, I mean,
why
we're not
not?
going to complain if you want to
Yeah.
give
Wait,
us
did
more
you just
airtime.
commit us
Yeah,
to
yeah.
doing another 4 hours of shows?
And actually, if you want to see my show at 5:00 being recorded live, it's going to be at the AM 950 booth,
Yeah,
and I'm going to have my 2 co-hosts with me.
sweet.
Oh,
Yeah, if they're here, I don't even know if they're here. Austin Ballhagen and Matt Amundsen, and they each have a specialty. So Austin is very adept in Minnesota politics,
Great.
and Matt is adept in DEI, diversity, equity, and
Mhm.
inclusion.
Mhm.
He's got like multiple degrees in that. So yeah, tune in at 5:00 or come to the booth and say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, shout out to them over at AM 950. I think, oftentimes when our community brings up an idea, they him and they ha, and they're like, what's the risk? What's that? And Chad was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's
Chad
make it big,
does
and
it,
let's put up a banner to prove it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's a true ally right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Andy. You couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
He's an ally, and Matt
Ally for
McNeil, who we just saw, he was doing his
Yeah.
live show. He
yes.
is an ally par
Yes.
excellence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
Yes.
show.
As is Rena.
Rena. Yes,
Rena
Rena.
is my she is our ally aficionado.
Yes.
Yeah. But to be honest, this is the first day I met both of you.
Isn't
So
that's so
I think
weird
it's
to me.
crazy, but we need to get together, and
Like,
JP and I are going to invite you guys over for a barbecue or something one
Yeah.
day.
we'll cook out of the
We'll give
Julia
you a few
Childs
days
butt.
to rest.
Yeah, you're right.
After
It's-
tomorrow.
you're taking
JP,
a week
can you
off.
get out his favorite cookbook?
Yes. We'll
Julia,
have some
Don't
quiche.
the joy of cooking.
I've got like 17 different versions of quiche. So
We'll have quiche and become more gay.
Yes.
Is that a thing?
I love quiche.
Is that
I
like
really
It's
do.
amazing.
you can always become more gay.
When you throw glitter on, you become more gay, right? Because I see glitter everywhere.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you all just got glitter.
And you know what?
Gay.
My husband, who's here, he
Oh.
probably doesn't want me to point him out because he's shy.
Oh no! Point him out. We got to point him out. Where's the
There he is.
husband? Oh,
right there.
point,
Wave,
everyone
wave,
point.
honey. Wave.
wave, honey. Mine's stuck in a dispatch trailer. If that makes you feel
Aw.
any better. Probably
Andy,
listening.
oh my God, he makes the best quiche in the world.
Oh.
Now I just want
I'm going to
quiche.
be disappointed if there's not a brunch sometime. In
I
the
know,
future
right?
here.
We need some
Like-
quiche.
Now that's the gayest.
You know
meal
what,
ever,
Rena?
brunch.
We could
Oh, brunch.
all bring a quiche.
There we go. There we
Different
go.
flavor
Who's joining
quiche.
us out there?
We could do like a great gay bake off.
The
And
great.
our technical
gay
challenge will be
bake-off.
quiche.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
chopped.
love that.
Oh, there's something for Pride year round.
Yes,
Yes.
the great gay bake off. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but-
have to. My team is probably like, "Don't, Andy, don't do it."
Well, like chops, right,
Stop it.
Andy? Like
Yeah.
you, if you get eliminated, then the next 3 have to compete, and then
We'll give you the chopped basket.
Oh my gosh, Andy.
I know.
We've
Here I go
never had
again.
any kind of like bake off or like eating competition at the Pride Festival?
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
hot dog eating competition.
hot dog. Hey, I bet
How
we
has
would
there not
totally
been a
win the
Pride
hot
dog eating competition.
dog. We could do 2 different ones, taco and hot dog. Let's see who
Oh
wins.
man,
I know. Here we went down this road. We're sorry, Brian.
we went down a rabbit hole here.
Andy, what
I
else?
started
Wow, what
thinking of
happened
like
what
there?
else
names.
is doing Pride this year?
Man,
Andy?
what happened there?
What
Whoa,
about the
all right.
Queer Rights Book Fair?
Well,
or
Yes.
The people want it like eating, right? You guys like to eat, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, they're
in
all
the-
drinking
they're in the
beer
gardens,
now.
so-
Oh, yeah, now it's beer time.
It's
Yeah.
beer time,
What goes well with your beer at this hour?
right?
Yeah.
Anything,
Yeah.
anything goes well with
Anything.
beer.
Anything.
Right?
Is there any food you guys like to seek out at the festival? You guys have a favorite?
I like
Go-to?
eating cheese curds. Like I like to do cheese curds across the state.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
such a
Yeah.
Minnesotan thing
I
to
know.
say.
Well, I didn't know about cheese curds until I moved here, and my first cheese curds were at the state fair,
Oh,
and they are still, I'm sorry, the best. Foxy
the mousetrap.
Falafel- Yeah, the mouse.
Yeah, the mousetrap.
Yeah.
Foxy Falafel, when they had, I mean, they had these. They were like dill with honey. Those were
Ooh.
amazing. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I love
That
going
sounds
around
good.
and checking
That's
out all the
fancy.
cheese curds. I know it's a very Minnesotan thing to do.
That is a very Minnesotan
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to reference the state fair, which, in case anybody's wondering, the state fair may be the biggest festival in the state of Minnesota, but we're second.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Right.
We are second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. And they get 12 days.
Listen,
we get
cram a
2.
lot
Yeah.
into 2 days.
I mean, but let me just be clear about
So-
that. Andy cannot do Pride 12 days.
Oh, could you imagine?
Wait, so you do,
Oh my
you do a
goodness
half
gracious.
million over 2 days.
Yep.
So that's 250,000.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
On
We
their,
get
big,
about
on their biggest days, they could get there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we get our parade, and it's always this thing we talk about, like, well, how do we really know attendance and things like that, and we use some tips and tricks and calculations. It's never any really like full blown scientific thing, but we kind of look at based on like meals served and things like that, and we figure there's about 350,000 people that go to the parade. Because if you really look, like I challenge anybody who's going to go to the parade tomorrow, which kicks off at 11 from 3rd and Hennepin all the way down to the park, count. And you count the people shoulder to shoulder and then front to back. And it is legitimately typically 12 people deep on those blocks and Hennepin.
Oh,
And then
my
you get
goodness.
the rooftops and then you get, So there's a lot of people. And I think that's a good reminder is every time you feel alone, stand up on a hill at Pride.
Yeah.
You're never alone.
Yeah. Andy,
and-
another thing I want. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, honey. Did you
No, I
want
was
to
just
say-
going to say that speaking of AM 950, you can live stream and listen to the Pride
You
tomorrow morning on AM
can.
950.
Yeah,
If
with
you're
or
too hungover to get up
AM950radio.com.
and go to the parade,
You can also
stream it
watch
live.
it.
You can on their YouTube channel.
MCN 6, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota Community
Yes.
Network 6.
Yeah, yep. And it'll cross stream over to our website and socials. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Good reminder. Good
that is
Yeah.
a great reminder.
Well, what I was going to say was, I want to thank all the parents here that brought their
Mhm.
children.
Yes, props
Because
to those
yes,
parents.
that-
Yes,
if you
yeah.
brought your children, that is amazing. Thank you so much. Because again, that the other side of the aisle wants to portray us as these freaks, and we're just people. We're
Right.
just people, and bringing a child to show that there's nothing to fear. There's
Mhm.
no fear involved.
Mhm.
It's community, it's love, it's inclusion, it's authenticity.
Mhm.
And it just fills my heart when I see kids. I really do.
Right.
And
Who are able to just live their most authentic life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we didn't get that.
and it would have been amazing, Andy, if I was a kid. Because back in the day, there was no such thing as gay straight alliances or anything in schools. I would have loved it to have a safe
Yeah.
space for being a gay boy.
Yeah.
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 I would have loved
Can
it.
you imagine?
And I even talk about this a lot, and this is really personal to me, but I didn't transition until 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it was sheer out of misconception. My children are my world, and I had an impression that I couldn't have them if I had transitioned. And so I think about these kids growing up that get to live this most authentic life, sooner, and what that would have done for me.
Right.
And I still could have had my kids. So it's so important that we teach them that there's so much they can do in this world.
Mhm.
And, there's nothing that has to stop them.
Yeah.
Like they can do it. If they can dream it, they can do it.
Mhm.
That reminds me of an episode. You should read Love Lives Here
I
by
should read
Rowan
that.
Jete Knox.
What's it called?
Love Lives Here by Rowan Jete Knox. It's an
Oh.
amazing story. So it's a memoir.
Mm.
And Rowan has just transitioned and Rowan now. But they had a child who came out as trans and then began to how do we support our daughter? And
Mhm.
then Rowan's partner then also a few years later understood themselves as trans and then began to transition. And now Rowan himself. And so it's just this remarkable story of understanding and finding love and creating family and honoring, you know what I mean? And honoring
Yeah.
who we are.
Mm.
It's just an absolutely phenomenal memoir. And if you ever get a chance to talk to Rowan or bring him to an event or something, I mean, just
Yeah,
gem of a
Sounds
human being.
amazing.
So amazing.
that is
Yes.
amazing. I always love it because my 7-year-old, every time she sees a pride pin or a trans flag or whatever, she always makes it a point to go up and be like, "I love your pin." She's so cute.
Yeah, a little kid came up to
Oh.
my husband and I have a pride flag hanging in front of our house,
Mm.
and a little kid. I was out there. I don't know what I was doing, but I was, doing something in the garden or whatever. I love your flag.
I know.
Yeah.
Is it
I didn't. I was
so
just
amazing?
like, what? It was so amazing.
Right.
The feeling that a little child could even appreciate you, for flying a flag like that. Because it means it's a safe space. You come to my house, you're in a safe space. That's what the flag means.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think about my 11-year-old and her friends, and I think about where I was and where society was when I was an 11-year-old here in the Twin Cities. It is so vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I take such good comfort listening to her and her friends talk.
Yeah.
Because to them, pronouns are not a big deal.
No.
There's kids in middle school that have gone back and forth, and then they decide to settle with this and that. And to them, it is absolutely nothing. It is the adults that make a big deal of it.
Yes.
It's really interesting in YA fiction right now, seeing how they're transforming the narrative of coming out, and how coming out is very much different now
So
than it
different.
was right for like our generations. It's just almost part of it is almost like what is coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, that
Because
like
I'm
why
just
do I
me.
need to come out? I'm just out. I'm just who I am, and right from the beginning.
Yep.
You know,
I love
Thank
that.
you
it's
for
really
looking at me,
interesting.
by the way, JP, when
What?
you said our generations. Thank you for looking at
And not
You're making
looking
me
at
feel young saying that. Because actually, guys, I was born in the 60s. The early 60s.
the early 60s.
That's all I'm
Well, you
telling
look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
I feel fabulous.
and that's
Good.
what's important.
I went
right?
through two bouts of cancer. I'm still here. I'm fighting. I don't want to leave. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Are there any cancer survivors out there other than me? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Let's
Good
give them a
job.
hand.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is a hard battle.
It's a hard battle, but you have to be strong and have the will to live and want to live for the people around you more than yourself.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
the commitment that this man has to his show while under treatment
Oh,
you're gonna make me.
wow.
was
He's
like,
gonna make me cry
I
right
want to
now.
come in. To me, he's like, I want to come and interview you, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know anything about it, and then he shows up at my workplace, like, I'm gonna make this happen, and I was like, dude, like, what? Like, I had
my
no. I was like,
gosh.
please just sit down. And he had this amazing interview. He was right there. He was present. I mean, the commitment that he has to his show and making his show work is
Thank
just
you.
it's really
I was going
heartwarming.
through radiation at the time,
Oh,
and
man.
when I got, this was brand new. I was just starting the show, and I heard I got JP Boghossian on my show, and I'm like, I'm not canceling. I don't care if I'm dying. I'm gonna do this show, and
I would have rescheduled.
and I
we all love you that much. We would have rescheduled.
and I persevered, and he was so understanding and so thank you again. I mean, you're an amazing human being, and anyway, I don't want to get sad. I want to move on and be happy.
but look at where you are.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it shows the power of wanting to survive and wanting to prove that you don't get to say when I have to stop.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do it.
Well,
I'm
that
gonna
just
do it.
shows how
I'm gonna
important
do
this
it.
block is too. Like
Yeah.
we know that
Yeah.
these time slots mean something, and that the content of these programs is important.
Yeah, Rina, you know what? There's people out here that when they listen to our show, JP's, mine, yours, Ellie's, all the shows, we are a safe space for this community. People
Mhm.
can listen and feel, wow, they're addressing my issues.
Yeah.
They're talking about things that nobody else on any TV show, any radio show talks about.
Right.
So,
And again, we have to thank them for the support for this station
yeah.
and for our shows. We do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good reminder that like our shows, this festival, all of that, we can't do that without the support. I get asked all the time, well, how do you make this happen? So like a lot of begging and pleading, not even gonna lie, a whole lot of begging and pleading and all that fun stuff. But it's every single person standing out here today. That's how we make it happen. That's why we make it happen. And I think the four of us sitting up here don't take that lightly.
Not at all. No.
Like, we are so very grateful.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so incredibly lucky to be able
Yeah.
to do what we do on a daily. And I get up every day and promise my kids I'm gonna try to make a better world for them, so they don't have to.
And your kids are so lucky to have a parent like
Oh,
you
Well, thank you.
to
for
grow
that.
up and be
Yeah.
embracing of difference. And that's the problem in this country today.
Oh, 100%.
That we don't teach our children, hey, they may be a different race, different, sexual orientation, whatever, but they're human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
They have feelings, they love, they
Right.
hate, they have all these emotions, and they should be treated like human beings, like just part of society. Like, and I say on my show all the time, if the people out there that ever listen to my show, I always talk about America is not a sheet, it's a quilt.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's not one color,
It's everything.
everything.
It's everything. And as long as you're a good human, that's what matters.
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Well, I think that I just want to say how to be part of the block of programming, but also how impressed and grateful I am for the intentionality that you all have and how you get the representation from within the community. Right. So we have those folks that are doing trying to split us up, and they're internalizing that shame and that queer phobia.
Man.
But I really appreciate how all of you are trying to, and it's something that we try to do as well on our shows, of how are we being very intentional about making sure that every voice is heard to
Right.
build that community. And I know we have just a few minutes left, but I am a little curious, what do we have to look forward to on your shows? Because yes, we're available every Saturday afternoon and people need to tune into that, but we're also available everywhere you stream your podcast, am950radio.com. But any highlights that we should be looking forward to on your shows?
I think there's a lot of topics around Pride that in the past, Twin Cities Pride has been a little afraid to talk about. And I'm not afraid to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to talk about corporations at Pride.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to talk about cops at Pride.
Yeah, support
I'm not
all
afraid.
the businesses here.
So-
Absolutely.
Fun fact, and I'm going to say this. So, and I know Nell is listening behind me. She's one of our artists in residence, and she's at her booth behind me. Do you know that only 13% of the booths in this park are large corporations?
That's it.
13%.
Wow.
The rest are small businesses that when you shop at their booth here at Pride, you're not paying for the CEO salary or the large corporate building. You're paying for their kid to go to dance lessons or hockey equipment, if you're my world. That's what you're paying for. So when you go out and you buy the amazing little earrings around the corner or a sculpture or painting from Nell or any of our other amazing artists, that you are putting money back into our community, and that is what is important.
So
are.
third largest Pride.
Yep.
Largest free Pride on the globe.
Yep.
And 87% small businesses.
Yep.
At Pride in
Yep.
the park.
And if
I'm
you
learning all sorts of fun facts today.
and if you
Yeah,
truly,
right, JP?
yeah, and if you truly want to know where your money is going when you shop here, if you look up in the corner of booths, there's a number, and it's on a colored sign depending on which colored area you're in. But there are stickers, and if they are the progress flag, they are LGBTQ owned. If they are a brown fist, they are BIPOC owned. And if they are an progress flag with a black and brown fist, they are LGBTQ BIPOC owned.
Okay.
Spend your money where you want your money to go.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
we owe that to the community to make sure that we're doing that. And Brett is showing me 43 seconds.
Oh,
Gosh
no.
darn it.
Oh no.
So with that, it's a great time to remind everybody who's listening, Twin Cities Pride can't continue to put on this amazing festival and all of our community programming without your support, whether that be through volunteering or making a financial contribution. You can do both of these things by visiting our website, tcpride.org. Please make sure, thank you so much for being on our show today.
Yes.
And
thank
for
you.
I'm gonna thank
being
you.
here. And thank you to our
We
audience.
love you.
All
Thank
of you out there for supporting Twin Cities Pride and supporting each other. We love you very, very much. You are listening to Twin Cities Pride Amplified on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. Happy Pride!
Woo!